Hi all, this is Ram and welcome to my channel where we will be discussing cinema and only cinema. Today let's talk about SLB's Gangubhai Kathiawadi and how I think it should go down in cinematic history, not just for the resplendent cinematic visuals or the incredibly captivating Alia Bhatt as a titular character. I would rather like to approach the movie from a different aspect, the catharsis and the portrayal of female protagonist and feminism in mainstream cinema. Alright, let's get straight to the point, and mind you, it's spoiler free. Gangubhai Kathiawadi is based on Hussain Saidi's Mafia Queens of Mumbai, co-written for screen and directed by Sanjay Leela Bhansali. It is clear that what we see on screen is just an initial phase in the life of Ganga in a momentous transformation from a small town gullible girl to Gangubhai, the matriarch of Kamathipura. The film's rich visuals and elaborate sets is a typical SLB auteur that even the bleak, grim streets of Kamathipura look splendid and lively. It is a night that makes Kamathipura beautiful, and Gangubhai and her woman is its light. कहते हैं कामातिपुरा में कभी अमावस की रात नहीं होती क्योंकि वहाँ गंगू रहती है. This catchy one-liner cements the affirmation point. Now let's see in detail how the female protagonist and feminism is portrayed in this movie. With about 2.5 hour runtime, SLB takes enough narrative space and time for Gangu's transformation from a dreamy, gullible small-town girl to Kamathipura's matriarch and above all, a confident feminist. She had to go through betrayal, shattered dreams and extreme physical abuse before becoming the Gangubhai we all know. She is determined, strong, at the same time vulnerable and tender at heart. For instance, in the opening scene, we could see Gangubhai in a sharp attitude narrating her life to a young girl sold to prostitution. But upon realizing the girl's choice to die rather than living an unwanted life, we see a teary-eyed, empathetic Gangu with motherly instincts who vows to take care of that desolate girl. Similarly, we see a feisty Gangu beating up a guy for taking advantage of her on an off day, and later a Gangu who smirks at her co-workers as Afsan takes her for a ride on a date. The song Meri Jaan is a poetic visual discourse to Gangu's character. It is said that those who have everything and nothing to lose shall fight fiercely for their purposes. Gangu's character is a mix of both these extremes. She is a survivor of an extreme physical assault. She is condemned by the so-called virtuous society, and she is perfectly aware of an outside world scheming against Kamathipura and its women. So Gangu has nothing, at the same time everything to lose. This makes Gangu a determined fighter. And also, Gangu takes pride in embracing her identity and profession. In one instance, she introduced herself as Gangubhai prostitute, which made me jump from my seat. The whole movie is shown from Gangu's point of view, which helped create a better connection with the viewers, hence sympathize for the character. Though the POV has partially blinded us from the subtleties of the material world Gangu finds herself in, we get a dynamic personality that is organic, developing and firmly women-centric. In Gangubhai Kathiawadi, we see many significant people, in fact a spectrum of genders that comes in and out of Gangu's life. We see the formidable presence of Ajay Devgn as Rahim Lala, the benefactor, the versatile Vijay Raaz as Rasiabai, the political opponent, Seema Pahwa as Sheila Masi, the brothel owner, Shantanu as Afsan, Gangu's newfound love, a feeling she never thought would return, and Sarbh as a kind-hearted journalist who takes side with Gangu's fight for rights. What worked well for this movie is that the makers never tried to look down on Gangubhai for a moment, even in the presence of a strong male character like Rahim Lala. These characters, though very important, take a backseat only to inspire Gangu into venturing new grounds or relish a moment of euphoria. This balance of power makes Gangubhai's journey more realistic and inspiring. This is something which other mainstream cinemas can take a note of when portraying women characters. This is how things worked in Queen, English Winglish, or Mad Max Fury Road. In the fight for justice and rights for women in a patriarchal society, one might have to tag along with a male counterpart, but that shouldn't belittle or hijack women's fight. Unfortunately, that's a common narrative. Recently, in many commercial movies, I have seen creators try to fit in feminism in an attempt to be politically correct and appease new-gen moviegoers, especially women. But this never usually fits well with the narrative and is often used to glorify the righteousness of the male lead. Ironically, in many such movies, we come across scenes where women are subject to stereotypical portrayals or sidelined by male lead. Did the song Singapane work for you? It certainly did not for me. Also, in an attempt to create women-centric movies, we see female leads enacting physical prowess and agility. There will also be a male antagonist as a vicious, scheming villain just because they happen to be an opposite sex. There is nothing wrong in portraying physically dominant female characters, but if you can't bring anything fresh in narrative or in visual style, you end up with something which is undercooked and has been replicated for ages, and that too in a much better way. These are some of the reasons why recent big-budget multi-starrer female action films like The 355 and Charlie's Angels 2019 with forgettable characters failed miserably at the box office. On the contrary, Imperator Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road will be known for ages. We don't remember Furiosa for her physical exploits, but for her persona and sheer will to fight for a cause that is all about liberation and rights.
Remember me.
Now this brings us back to feminist catharsis in Gangubhai. Unlike Furiosa, Gangubhai flares in feminine radiance, but like Furiosa, Gangubhai has this sheer aggression towards those who cross her path or meddles with her moral fights. Just like Furiosa, Gangu has a cause worth fighting for. She is not alone in her fight and is accompanied by a selfless gang of women and some rightful men. Like Furiosa, Gangubhai has a mass appeal, a radiating self-confidence and persona that deserves our awe. And Alia, you just made it look even better. What a performer. That's all for now, guys. Please like, share and subscribe for more contents like this. Also, please share your thoughts on the comment box below. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I'll be sharing similar posts on movies. So bye for now and see you soon on the next video.